Hey everyone, it's Brandy and welcome back to my channel, Brandy Janae's Bookshelf. Happy April, and I hope everyone had a good March. As far as my reading, I think March went by really good. Like it was a really good month for reading. But in my personal life and really mainly my work life, things have been like crumbling and like slowly falling apart. And I have a feeling things are about to get a lot more hectic for me. And I think because of that, if things end up going the way I think they're gonna go, that might also mean that I'll have more reading time possibly, because it's looking like I'm about to be spending a lot more time at work for like a month and a half or so, if things keep going in the direction that I think they're gonna go. But anyway, today in this video, I am going to be talking about my overly ambitious April TBR. So I'm pretty sure that I've talked about this before, but when I make my TBRs, I typically give myself like a huge list of books to pick from. There are a select few that are on my must read of the month or really want to read, but then I also give myself, like I said, a bunch of other selections that I would like to get to if I have the time. Now for March, and I know that I'm kind of getting a little like backtracking because this is the April TBR, but I really did not get to a good majority of the books that were on my TBR, especially the ones that I was like, I really need to get to these. Some of those books got moved over to this month. Before I get into the actual books, I do want to mention a couple of read-a-thons that I am possibly going to try to participate in. So the first is the Dewey's 24-hour read-a-thon. I mentioned this in my book haul, but just in case you did not watch that, the Dewey's 24-hour read-a-thon is happening this upcoming weekend on the 6th, and as you can expect from the title of the read-a-thon, it is a 24-hour read-a-thon, and I am planning on attempting to just go through as many manga, or you know, as much as I feel like reading on that Saturday, depending on what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm gonna be out that day, because usually Saturdays I get up with my mom and we go like do shopping that we need to do and stuff like that. And since this weekend is like a payday weekend, it's very likely that I might be outside of the house for like at least a few hours. So I'm not sure how much reading I'll get done, but I'm going to at least attempt to get through a few manga if I'm, you know, too busy to do anything else. Also, the Owls read-a-thon that's hosted by the channel Book Roast. I know everyone's pretty much talking about that. I heard about this one last year, but it was like halfway through the read-a-thon and I was just like, it's kind of really involved, so I decided to just wait. And then like the read-a-thon after that was connected to it, it's like you had to do the first part before you could do the second part, so I decided to just leave it. This month, or this time around, I looked at it and I was looking at prompts, and some of the prompts I could find books to fit easily, others I can't. So I'm just not exactly sure if I'm going to participate. I'm going to read books that I have on my TBR and see if I could fit those into those prompts. If not, then I'm not going to worry about it. I'm gonna kind of just, you know, look through it and see if I could get stuff to match up. Now that I have rambled on, let's get into the books. As usual, my TBR is usually split into 3 different categories: book club, arcs, or books that I have for review, and then everything else that I would like to get to. I have already finished a book so far this month. It's only the first that I'm filming this, but I ended up like listening to an audiobook while I was at work last night, and I ended up finishing it while I was there. And that is Royally Endowed by Emma Chase, and this is the 3rd book in the Royally series, I believe is what it's called. Also, I am in the middle of a reread of Skip Beat, the 3-in-1 edition, volume 1 by Yoshiki Nakamura. I think I also talked about this in my wrap-up, that I was thinking about possibly doing a Skip Beat reread of the entire series. Now that I have talked about the book I finished and the book that I'm currently in the middle of, I'm now going to move into my book club books. For the Wicked Spirits book club, there was a poll for the book. I don't think I announced it on my channel, but I definitely shared it on Twitter. But I'm pretty sure the book that was picked for April was Angel's Blood by Nalini Nalini Singh. Oh my goodness, I'm stumbling over everything. Sorry. And I'm pretty sure this is the first book in the Guild Hunters series. I just remembered, and I'm pretty sure I did not write it down on my little TBR, like my written TBR that I have. But I also need to read Night Chaser by Amanda Boucher, which was our March book pick for the Wicked Spirits book club. And then finally, for the Attack on Manga book club, I have My Brother's Husband Volume 1 by Gengoru Tagami. And this was the runner-up for the book pick when we voted for the March book. So because it was the runner-up, Emily decided that we would just go ahead and read this one for April, which I'm really excited about. I have heard really good things about it. And now moving on to books that I have for review. The first one that I have is Miss Baker by Leah Cole. I have a review set to go up on April 8th. Next, I have Needing to Love You by Erin Riley, and this is the second book in like a companion series. I haven't read the first one, but I saw that this was available and I was actually approved. I wasn't sure if I would get approved for this one, but I was. So I have this, or I have it coming, and my review for this one is due on the 15th. Next, I have Meet Cute by Helena Hunting, and then Getting Hot with the Scott by Melanie Johnson. This one is set to come out on April 30th. Now we're moving into my everything else section, and all of those I believe are physical books. So I don't need my little journal anymore that I have my TBR in. So yeah, let's just get into it. So the first book that I have of my everything else section is The Van Allen Legacy by Melissa De La Cruz. This is book 4, I believe, in the Blue Blood series. Next, I have Nixia Unleashed and Nixia Uprising. So Nixia Uprising, I don't have my copy of it yet because it comes out on April 16th, I'm pretty sure. So I just wanted to basically binge this entire series. It was one of the series that I wanted to get through this year, and since Nixia Uprising is the finale to this trilogy, I decided to just try to, like I said, binge the series. Next, which is kind of random, but I have Marked in Flesh by Anne Bishop. This is book 4 in the other series. I feel like I have so much time in between reading each book, and I really want to finish off the series. So I'm hoping that I have a chance to get through this book because there's only 2 more books left in this series. Next, we're going to move on to some Owl Crate books. So I read one of my past Owl Crate books in March, but I didn't get to any of the ones that I was trying to get to that had previously been on my TBR. So let's talk about those quickly. So one is The Gilded Wolves by Rashmi Tuxie. I actually started this one. I think I got 2 chapters in, and I was enjoying it, but it was kind of a slow start, so I was struggling to pick it up because it was a slow start. I'm sure it's probably gonna pick up like if I just continue to read it, but I was being lazy, so I never did pick it back up. And then another Owl Crate book that I did not get to was Crown of Feathers by Nikki Palpretto. This is a book in the February box. Yeah, for the March book, which is added to my TBR from last month, is Four Dead Queens by Astrid Schultz. Basically, all the books that I just talked about were my high priority TBR, and now I'm going to get into the other things that if I have time to get to them, that would be great. And this is where my sci-fi section comes in, and then I also do have a few fantasy books which I will leave to the end because those are more unlikely that I'll get to them, just because I was trying to focus on a certain thing this month. But we will see because my priorities might shift. I already have a feeling that 2 of the books that I have on this fantasy side are books that I'm going to probably pick up before some of these sci-fis, but we will see. Going into the sci-fi, this is the series that I have been meaning to read for a while now, and that is the Binti series by Nadia Corpour. So Binti, Home and The Night Masquerade. Next, I have Contagion by Aaron Bowman. This is like a sci-fi, like space horror. Next is The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. The final sci-fi that I have on this TBR is This Mortal Coil by Emily Suvada. This is another one that I picked up after hearing a few people talk about it, and I have only heard amazing things from the people who I've seen that have read this. Moving on into the last few books that I have over here, which are the last few of my fantasy books. The first one that I have is Warrior of the Wild by Trisha Levenseller. Next, I have The Chunker that was on my TBR last month that I did not get to, but that is The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. We will see if I have time for this. I really want to get it done because I feel like if I put it off any longer, then I'm not gonna read it for like another few years. So I'm really going to make the effort to get started on this early. So those are all the books that I currently have on my April TBR. Let me know what you're planning on reading in April. That's all I have for you guys today. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you would like to see more from me, make sure you subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again in the next one. Bye.